So if your tucked planche looks anything like this, or like this, then keep watching the video and I'll show you how you can fix these simple mistakes to make your tucked planche look even better. So there are 3 very common mistakes with the tucked planche, so I'll go over them and I'll show you how you can fix each of them, and then at the end of the video you'll have your tucked planche look super clean, and then you'll be able to advance to higher progressions in the planche. So the first one is probably the one I see most common out of the 3, but it's having your hips too low when performing the tucked planche. So you can see compared to an actual tucked planche, that is pretty obvious. So if you aren't already, you should start recording yourself and attempting these tucked planches so you can actually see which areas you're lacking in and need to improve on. So a very good exercise, start getting your hips in the right position and understanding where they should be, is by doing like assisted tucked planche, not using resistance bands, but actually using your foot, one of your feet to put your hips in the right position. So you go into the tucked planche, have your hips in line with your shoulders, and then hold that. And then as you get stronger, you'll be able to take both your feet off and then just hold that position. Another great exercise to start getting your hips a little bit higher is by doing L-sit tucked planches. So once you transition out of the L-sit, you try and shoot your hips nice and high, higher than you might think. And then you try to hold it at the tucked planche position, and then you slowly transition out. And then as you get stronger, obviously, you'll be able to hold that tucked planche in that position a little bit longer instead of slowly falling down. You just really want to make sure that you're shooting those hips nice and high to try and line up your hips with those shoulders to make it look nice and clean. So the next common mistake would be people doing tucked planches with bent arms, and even if it's just like the slightest bend, that's considered like not proper form. So that is either from people using lack of technique or the lack of strength. So if you have not the proper technique, just make sure that when you're doing the tuck planche, that you're turning your elbows in and your bicep should be facing forward. That's how you know your arm is nice and straight. And then from there, you do the actual tuck planche and your arm will be nice and straight. However, even if you turn out your biceps and your elbows and your arm is still bending, that could just be from a lack of strength. What you want to start doing, focusing on planche leans as well as pseudo planche push-ups, and then that will get you your bent arm strength and your straight arm strength. And then the third mistake that I see a lot of people do is when they do the tucked planche without proper protraction, which pretty much means you're not pushing your shoulder blades down. So you want to make sure you're pushing nice and hard to try and push out your shoulders so they're nice and straight, and then you go in to the tuck planche. That one's also pretty simple to fix. Whenever you're doing like push-ups or like pseudo planche push-ups, which you should be doing, just make sure that you're doing full protraction with them. So start implementing the pseudo planche push-ups, and then whenever you're doing like normal push-ups, just make sure you're doing full protraction with them, and that will start strengthening the scapula. That will help with the full protraction with the tuck planche. So as your final product, if you can implement straight arms, protraction, and having your hips nice and high, your tuck planche should look nice and clean. And once you got that form nailed down, just keep practicing and increase that time that you can hold the position, and then you can start progressing even faster. So if this video has been helpful to you, please leave a like, that would be much appreciated. And if you want to see a full tutorial on how to get the tuck planche, I do have a video on that. You can click there. Without further ado, thank you so much for watching, and peace out.